I have the highest respect to my fellow photographers and gadget vloggers. I know my previous episode or this episode will be an outlier. I'm not saying that all XT200s have that problem, but it just happened that the one I got was the defective one. Right, yeah. It looks nice, right? The colors, the hello camera, what are you doing to me? Okay, enough camera. Okay, you really failed me big time. Hi guys, Sensei, I'm here again. So here's a follow-up video about my experience with the XT200. Well, to make the long story short, I returned it. So I returned it over to the online seller, which is a camera shop in Tokyo, because it didn't serve its purpose. I bought a Fujifilm X-T200 because I wanted a vlogging camera to deload so much work from my iPhone. Okay, I use my iPhone for work, I use it to chat, I use it to snap pictures. But for vlogging, I think I wanted a camera that has a wider angle to show the background, to show where I am at, and a convenient one that makes it easy for me to shoot a video, talk, and tell a story. Like right now, I'm using and filming with my D750, and it takes a while to set it up, to put the lighting, to put it on remote, to focus on my phone. So it's really so difficult unless I really want to do it just right here at home. But when we vlog outside and we want to tell a story, we just want to flip open the LCD screen and then tell a story where we are, what's happening, what we're experiencing. And so I wanted a vlogging camera. I've been following Fujifilm for quite some time now. In fact, I have many photographer friends who are using it, from the T1 to the T2. Now there's a T3 I'm watching over YouTube. And then some of my friends use a T100, the predecessor of the 200. So I've really been closely following XT200. And so when it came out, I was excited. I want a vlogging camera that I can use as a webcam, okay, in my Zoom classes. Of course, a nice camera would work with a virtual background. Just a little background about me. I'm a university professor and I'm also a photographer. Meanwhile, I'm also a gadget hobbyist, and like most of you, I like toys for the big boys. And I like drones, I like action cameras. I've started with the Ryko Tough, yeah, the really muddy one. And then I used it for underwater. I used it to climb mountains when I was younger. So I like action cameras. I've been also following GoPros, and right now I'm using a Hero 7 and closely looking at the Hero 9. But I'm very happy with my Hero 7 right now. I use a D750 for my professional work, which is full frame Nikon, and I use an Olympus with a very long name, Olympus EM10. I've forgotten the name, it's so long. Anyway, so on with the Fujifilm X-T200. So I ordered it over Rakuten, and I was so excited because I used my points, and then I planned to pay it with my credit card points as well. So really, it was a good deal. It was somehow a replacement of my Olympus, which did not have a microphone port. So I wanted to use a microphone, like right now I'm using a Deity microphone, which brings the best in the audio and the voice. So that's the shortcoming of my Olympus. It was made for a time when microphone ports were not provided in these mirrorless cameras. But I love my Olympus. I've taken to Europe, I've gone to Australia, I've gone to Philippine beaches with my Olympus, and it did a good job. In fact, I'm showing some photos right now of the good work it has done. But the only problem right now is that times change, my interests change. I'm more into telling stories, more into vlogging, and I wanted to tell more stories by simply posting a video. And videos are provided by Olympus, but there is no microphone port. Good thing about unboxing videos is that we have a documentation of the state of the merchandise we bought. So how it looked like when it arrived. And I even said in my video that, oh, I'll definitely fill out the warranty card because who knows? I don't like things that break. I think I jinxed it because when I was using the XT200, it started to show some, let's just say, factory defects. So out of the box, it will tell you upgrade the firmware, and that's what I did. I updated the firmware, and I paired it with my phone. I tinkered with the settings. So I looked into the focus area. I saw the provision to lock it on the face and the eyes. So I said, oh, these are nice features when I'm so used to my Olympus that I would simply show my face and then it recognizes and frames my face, and that's it. It follows me anywhere. So I know that function of a mirrorless, and that's why I kind of expected it from Fujifilm X-T200. Apparently, the unit is defective. So on the first day I took it out for my classroom, I brought it to class. I did a walking video in the corridors. I brought it outside. It focused well on my eyes. The problem started happening when there is a change in the subject that I have to point onto something, or from facial recognition, I would my next scene would be a landscape. It finds it hard to adapt to the new subject of the video. But I was forgiving. I said, maybe I didn't configure it well again. So I started tinkering on it, and I thought, okay, the focus is center, and then continuous, and so on. So I played a lot on the settings until okay, one of my students borrowed it as well, and she said that it doesn't focus well.
Often go out of focus. Okay. Focus.
And I said, oh, same observation. Maybe there's something wrong with it. So, halfway through the day, I'm already feeling uneasy with the purchase that maybe I'm using a defective unit. And because, I've read blogs, I've watched vlog episodes on YouTube about XT200, and no wonder it keeps on popping out on all my on my suggested videos right now. I've seen this, and I had high hopes with XT200. That was the first problem. It did not focus. The second reason I got my Fujifilm X-T200 is that I wanted to use it as a webcam. So I used it for one live stream, and it did well. Of course, the moment I plugged it to my computer, it noticed that it needs a driver to make it work. So I downloaded the Fujifilm driver to make it a webcam, and it worked instantly with StreamYard. It worked with Zoom. I've tried it as well with live streaming of YouTube itself. So I'm happy because I simply plug it, and of course the battery is charged. The USB-C is plugged into my computer for that continuous supply. So the first live stream went well, but for the real intended purpose, it failed. So I was in class, I was showing off my new toy to my students, and then suddenly this happened. We don't want to issue equity. Let's issue bonds instead. All right? So we can issue bonds. And what happened to my camera? One moment. And it changed. Sorry. Let me figure out what's happening. Oops. Hello. I've been playing with this new toy camera that I scored over Rakuten. So that's why it's still messing up with my class. Apparently, I think it dies every 15 minutes, so I don't think I can use it as a real streaming camera. But anyway, let me just try working on that today. Right, yeah, it looks nice, right? The colors, the hello camera, what are you doing to me? Okay, enough camera. Okay, you really failed me big time. And that's it. That is the point where I ran out of patience on that defective camera. Immediately after class, I filed a complaint. I gave a bad review on the seller, but actually it's not the seller's part. My bad. I admit that. So anyway, I changed the review, and I did a good review to the seller. After the seller, maybe within a day, we've been exchanging communication over Rakuten. They allowed me to return it anyway. After a long explanation, of course I'm in Japan, so there's a long explanation that, okay, you cannot just return it as it is because you need to contact Fujifilm first and let them know of the problem. So, and that's in Japanese. My Japanese is just as like a 7-year-old's Japanese. So I called Fujifilm. Cheers to Fujifilm. The customer service officer who handled my case is, of course, Japanese, and he doesn't speak English, and I speak a little Japanese, and I said, Nihongo chotto dake ii desu ka? And he said, yes, okay. And then he was very patient, and we were talking for like 54 minutes, me explaining of the focus. So we went through every little detail. Did you download the driver for webcam? Did you install the firmware? Is it plugged? Is the USB attached to your computer? Can you switch on Zoom right now? Does it work? What is the problem? It crashes. Okay, so and then we talked about the focus, and he said, is it on continuous focus? I said, is it on center focus? I said, yes. And so there were so many criteria that we tested. Like walking through every little menu item in the camera. And the problem is it doesn't focus well. Of course, it's difficult to say that when we see a lot of good reviews on the camera, and mine maybe a tiny portion or a small, minuscule probability that I got the defective one. So I myself couldn't believe it because I had high hopes that the camera should be good out of the box. So I said, that is the problem. I have a video of me talking, and then it just wouldn't focus on my face anymore. It doesn't even want to focus on the subject that I'm pointing at. It was a long, difficult explanation, but when I said, but the camera shut down 2 times, and I have video in my class that is shut down. And that's when, okay, after 54 minutes, the guy from Fujifilm said, okay, so it's probably a factory defect. And that's when I was so relieved. I said, yes, thanks. I was gladly thanking the guy because he was kind enough to accommodate my childish Nihongo and probably his lack of English anyway, so it works both ways. So, and he said that he will coordinate with the camera shop and explain the procedure for a refund and returns. So that moment, I communicated with the seller and told the seller that I'm returning camera. I've already contacted Fujifilm, and they will call you anyway. So it didn't last long, and that same very day, maybe around 2 hours after, the camera shop told me that, okay, you may return the camera now that we've confirmed with Fujifilm. So yes, thank God I'm in Japan. Thank God they're nice. Thank God that they're really accommodating, and that's why I'm happy. I happily returned the product, and I am getting a refund. Thank you very much for those who have commented. I've been exchanging stories and comments on those who commented on my previous video. Let's keep the discussion rolling. I find it awesome meeting new friends, young photographers and fellow photographers, fellow gadget enthusiasts. So keep the comment rolling, and I will give you my most honest opinion. I am not selling anything. I'm not even endorsing any camera brand. I'm a Nikon user. I'm an Olympus user. I've been watching Fujifilm. I sometimes borrow it from my friends. So I like gadgets like you do. So I'm keeping an open mind, and I have my opinion, and let's exchange our opinions so that we can get the best value for our money. So if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. I have lots more stories as a professor, as a photographer. I've dig deep into my hard disk of many other photography, gadgets, and many more videos I have yet to process and upload. So let's continue telling a story, and subscribe to my channel if you like this video. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye-bye.